Today is the Jewish new moon, the beginning of the new month, the month of Shvat. And that's why I wanted to say a few words about this month. And as everybody knows, our months that we use today, their names come from Babylon. This our sages tell us in many places, in Jerusalem Talmud and in Midrashim, that originally, of course, we could see in the Torah, the months were all just counted from Nisan, from the month of spring, when the barley crop is usually harvested in the land of Israel. So this is the first spring month. As the Torah tells us, we're going to read that actually in the next parsha, in Parshat Bo, Chodesh hazeh yalachem Rosh Hodeshim. This is going to be our first month. But the name Nisan, as well as all the other names, came from Babylon. So originally the Torah would just say the names of the months by the number from the Chodesh HaAviv, from the spring month. Just like the days of the week in Jewish calendar, there is no Mondays or Tuesdays, it's just days after Shabbat. First day after Shabbat, second day after Shabbat, etc. So every time we remember the day of the week, we remember when it's Shabbat. So too, the months were counted from the month of our redemption, the month of spring, when we came out of Egypt. That's how we counted all the months. So the month of Shvat is, of course, the 11th month of the year. And that's the month when Moshe started repeating the instructions of the Torah. The entire book of Dvarim was said within just a month and a few days. Moshe died in the month of Adar, in the 12th month, even though the Torah doesn't say it explicitly, but that's how it's calculated based on the amount of time passed after Moshe died, when our people entered the land of Israel in Nisan. So you could count that Moshe died in Adar. Usually his yortzeit is considered the 7th of Adar. So the last month and 7 days of Moshe's life is generally rebukes, repetition of the laws of Torah, instructions, predictions, blessings of the 12 tribes. The entire book of Dvarim was all said within just that month and 7 days. So that's the time when he started was today. Today is the anniversary of the beginning of the repetition of the Torah that Moshe started. As it says in the beginning of the book of Dvarim, Be-Ashtei Asar Chodesh Be'echad LaChodesh. On the 11th month, on the first of the month. Ashtei Asar with Ayin in the beginning. That's not Shtei Asar. Shtei Asar is 12, but Ashtei Asar is another way of saying 11. Echad Asar or Ashtei Asar. There are discussions why the Torah uses this unusual expression, Ashtei Asar. It's not the only place in the Torah that this expression for 11, the number 11 is called Ashtei Asar. But for whatever reason, the month of Shvat was called that way in the Torah, the Ashtei Asar Chodesh, and that's when we, of course, got our instructions before Moshe departed. And another known fact about this month, the month of Shvat, is, of course, Tu BeShvat. Tu BeShvat is the new year of trees. This is well known, but what's less known is that today, the first day of the month, is also a new year according to the Shita of Beit Shammai. In the beginning of Tractate Rosh Hashanah, in the first Mishnah, there's an argument between Beit Shammai and Beit Hillel. When is the Rosh Hashanah, the new year for trees? One opinion, the Beit Shammai, is that it's on the first day of the month, the first day of Shvat, and we paskin, of course, like Beit Hillel. In most cases, we follow the school of the house of Hillel, and that is the 15th of the month, Tu BeShvat. Now, the reason we say Tu instead of Yud K, right? Usually the numbers in Jewish literature are written by letters. So, for instance, any number between 10 and 19 would be 10 plus something. For instance, 12 is 10 plus 2, Yud Bet. 19 is Yud Tet. So why all of a sudden it's Tet Vav for 15th? Why not say Yud and then Hey? The answer is obvious. Yud and then Hey is a divine name. And we don't want to use it for nothing, and you cannot erase divine names, so people are extra careful about it. And even though when it's used for a number, it wouldn't be a divine name, but since it looks like a divine name, rather than using Yud and then Hey, we use Tet Vav, 9 plus 6. So it's an exclusion. Instead of 10 plus 5, we say 9 plus 6. Tet Vav. So that's the Tu. Tu BeShvat, Tu B'Av. There are 2 days in our year which we call Tu. kind of rhyme, right? English. Tu, TWA. Two days of the year when we say Tu BeShvat, Tu Be'av. Tu BeShvat is the 15th of Shvat. Tu Be'av, that's exactly half a year later or earlier, right? It's exactly symmetrically opposite of Tu BeShvat. Middle of the winter, middle of the summer. Close already. Usually it's past half of the winter, but this year, because of the leap year, we'll have two others, so it's a little bit less than half of the winter through. So Tu BeShvat is the middle of Shvat, and it's the New Year of Trees. What does it mean it's New Year of Trees? The truth is, today there is no real consequence of this knowledge. The fact that it's New Year of Trees had to do, there are some consequences for those who live in the land of Israel, actually, and the farmers, those who grow fruits of the tree. And the consequence has to do with, of course, in the Jewish law, depending on when the fruits are formed, depending on which year of the fruit it is, there may be different laws applicable to them. One of the common situations is that the Torah prescribes that only on certain years the fruits of the second Ma'aser, the second tithe, should be eaten in Yerushalayim. So the years that are specified is in the 7-year cycle, the Shemitah cycle, is the first, the second, the fourth, and the fifth. So you have to know then what's considered the year. Is it the year of when you pick up the fruit? Is it the year of when you planted the fruit? Is it the year of when it's forming? So it turns out that for various laws, it's known that when the fruit is being at a certain stage of its form, what's called hanata. So when it's at that stage, if it's before the Tu BeShvat, it's the previous year's fruit. If it's after Tu BeShvat, it's the next year's fruit. That's the main consequences of this knowledge of what's considered the new year for trees. Now today the known minhag, the known custom is that on the New Year of Trees people like to eat fruits that are of new crop, if you could get something from the new crop. Living in America, we're not really watching the cycle of crops anyway, because we just get everything from Central America and Southern America, and we don't really know when is what crop. But obviously in the old times, people knew exactly when the fruits of the new crop are entering the market, that throughout the winter there were not a lot of choices of fruits. And then all of a sudden there's a new crop, and some of these fruits, if you're able to get them by Tu BeShvat, you could make a Shehecheyanu on them in the old times. Shehecheyanu is a special blessing. It's a brocha that our sages instituted for all kinds of reasons, but its main purpose is to thank the Almighty for the fact that we're still alive. Shehecheyanu v'ki'imanu v'higiyanu lazman hazeh. So this brocha was instituted for rare commandments, for the holidays. During Kiddush we make it, for various happy tidings, if you found out something that makes you happy. There are all kinds of reasons when Shehecheyanu is made. And one of the reasons, it says in Tractate Eruvin, that if you see, it doesn't say to eat, by the way, it just says to see. If you see the new fruits, it's such happiness, fruits of new crop, that you make Shehecheyanu. Now, nowadays, a lot of people, including myself, don't make Shehecheyanu on new fruits because in America, at least, the new fruits are so easily available, and it's not clear even what are new, when they are new. The market prices, of course, vary all the time, winter, summer, but they're not exactly tuned in to the crops here in New York, or even in California for that matter. I'm not sure what you could grow in California in the winter, or in Florida. I mean, it's in this type of climate, pretty much everything grows most of the year, I would imagine, and certainly most in the country south of the United States. So a lot of rabbis say that nowadays, at least when all the fruits are available at any time, there is no point of making Shehecheyanu when you see a new fruit, since it doesn't really make you happy at all. So therefore, even on Tu BeShvat, it's questionable on which fruits would you be able to make Shehecheyanu. But some people still make it. As far as I know, some Hasidim do try to make Shehecheyanu. Of course, only one bracha of Shehecheyanu is recited, even if you're eating a lot of different fruits that are new. And there are all kinds of other minhagim, other customs that developed over time. And the main custom that exists among all Jews today is not to say Tachanun on Tu BeShvat. Tu BeShvat is considered somewhat of a holiday. It's not a major holiday, but nothing else is happening in Shvat. There haven't been any holidays since Hanukkah, and until Purim, So something has to happen. If Tu BeShvat would have been in a month full of holidays, we wouldn't even notice it. But given that the whole month has nothing else to offer, so at least Tu BeShvat is celebrated somewhat like a minor holiday, and people, especially among Hasidim, they sit together with their Rebbe, he gives a certain Dvar Torah, a Drash, and they eat fruits and make brochas, and are happy. And on this I'll end today's lesson. If you like this video, please press like, and please subscribe to our channel.